Turning on the Al.
I'd like to bring up the tax rate. We need to get that done. Obviously, there's no sense changing it, leave it exactly as the only difference is going to be the allocation of some of the money. Initially, we had some, there's always some capital and different things. Go ahead, Dave, cover exactly what it's going to change.
About the same tax rate as last year. When you approved the tax rate last year, there was about 6.55 cents of debt money that was over in capital. And I'll tell you the breakdown. 1.5 cents was the new money for the jail pod, various other items that is going to be used for the courthouse. And the other was 4 cents we just moved debt service that year. There was another penny you moved the year before. What I'm asking you to do is actually move the 5.55 back to debt, leave the 1 penny in capital this year. And if the economy approves, let's leave it in capital because your capital is real bad. If it doesn't approve next year, let's move that penny back to debt service to plug up the hole. This year we're showing everybody using 2.2. With the 600,000, if the economy stays bad, we're only using 1.6. 2.2 we're showing using in debt service is with the 2021 bond in there with the good estimate. So that's what I'm asking you to do for the tax rate. Does that need a vote? No, you just need to, because it's going in part of your budget, so it'll be on the agenda the 15th, because the budget committee presents the tax
Just to
rate.
make sure, everybody.
Everybody's on the page with what we're doing, because I left a penny of your debt money in capital, and you know she got $2.4 some billion. It's much easier to spend the money as you go to try to do a bond, very expensive. We probably need to move that back next year unless the economy approves, or we will need to move it back when we do the middle. The economy approves, we're still going to need to move it back 2 or 3 years when we do where it's middle school, or the county middle school. Do you know our middle school over here?
Just to remind everybody, the reason we moved those 4 pennies was last year was to help pay for the jail pods, so we didn't have to issue a bond. Pay for it. Yep, paid it outright, and then we're moving it back. We're good on that. Next part is how much, go ahead, David.
The nonprofits, and if we get back to pull them up, let's look at them, kind of the thought, and let's see if this is what you have. Removing the one, senior citizens back to zero. And then you guys want to appropriate the ones that weren't appropriated, like I think it's about $10,000, and then the senior citizens. And then you've got to make, or need to make a decision about your museum.
Help me remember, what senior citizens they were trying to pull out?
Well, not pull out, we'll make it 0 because they're all hard later on, and then put them in the unallocated total.
Because the unallocated total, yeah.
Go to senior citizens.
Is the goal is they get the same, or does it go through the end?
It goes through the ends
But
committee.
as far as allocating the money here towards that committee, 50,500 is what went to seniors last year, right? I don't think you can see that.
Go to senior citizens. Yeah, you're there. I'm sorry. Yeah, $50,500. So what we're saying is, because the time for them to request hasn't passed yet, in the budget here to make Westmoreland 0, and then under nonprofits, under the unallocated amount, we'll make out the nonprofits. Put it together for now. Put 50,500 there.
And then that goes to.
In addition to the ones that we're not allocating that are.
Right. And then
So
pick
there's
up money
12,500 in that category where you've got the pink highlights, the Cumberland Crisis, Home Safe Salvas, Habitat, and Sumner.
Full summary of that.
Before we leave seniors, are the seniors, all the seniors that got something last year going to get something, but y'all as a committee will decide who's getting more?
Yes.
We're gonna look at it for once, rather than just continuing to allocate them exactly what they got last year. We'll take a look at it.
I mean, I think it should be done like fire
Yeah,
departments, like
at 12,
tell us what you want it for and what it's going for, but,
And so what we've done.
when do they
before-
need to, I apologize.
Oh, no, go ahead, Lee.
When do they need to, apply to your committee? Are you sending emails out or?
David
I believe it's by
actually-
October.
They send
October
everything to them.
15th.
One, I think it's
It's not on the
October.
finance website right now, actually.
We actually already approved
Do
all
we
of
need
it
to form
before,
that
and it's already been, they've all been told. That's
Because
why
that would need to go, I would think, before legislation this month.
Everybody else needs.
Because the committee hadn't even, I mean, I know we still have a little bit of time because it's after the budget's
We'll put it on the
approved.
website.
But it's not until October that the.
Okay, so we have till
applications
October.
are due.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were all told, like, so the only reason Westmoreland applied because they didn't realize it, but all the others didn't apply because they know to do the due process and call. And we've also pulled out all the other, the ones that were pink. Yeah. Yeah.
What we'll do is, we'll let you guys a colored budget on your table. Because of the county clerk's office. We're trying to make it look very.
I know that's out there somewhere. You
Let's-
scroll down just a little bit first, I mean, that's as far as the timeline.
Right, yeah, okay.
Keep going, early
Thank you.
2021. Okay, due October 1st.
Okay.
So the panel would meet in October.
So just for a timeline, then, we would take it, would that go through committee on committees or through legislation, Leah, if we're forming a new?
Technically, it'd be committee on committees if it's a new
Yeah, I think that
committee.
makes
Okay.
more sense,
But
honestly.
the other
'cause
option is the budget committee could just pick a committee.
Like an
So-
hour?
so-
I'd rather it be
It'd
a
an ad hoc,
standing,
but I'd rather be a
I'd rather it be a
Yeah, I
standing.
think it should be go through committee.
Yeah.
We want to include
I
a few
love it
citizens.
being. Yes,
I think so too.
We need to probably reevaluate that anyway, because we realized, and this is just a minor thing that we're gonna bring up in July, but it isn't. Defer and refer and what they mean do not match what Robert's rules switched 4 years ago and 8 years ago. Our rules have got the old way, and I have been doing it the new way.
So we need to amend our rules.
So we need to.
Which that is legislative, because when we got rid of rules and procedures, it pushed to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
And I really want to name them something other than defer and refer.
I
We're gonna
agree.
name them something like,
Yeah.
return it to the committee with debate and return it to the committee without
You
debate.
also need to fix that thing about when you do that, about the majority vote for anything going through budget.
yeah.
That needs to be straightened out.
Yeah, we should put it in rules, yeah.
So can we just put that on the legislative committee for next month on the agendas, Leah?
Leah, yeah,
bylaws review.
Oh, Scott told me to do it, to put it on legislative in July.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
one of the questions, since we're talking rules, Leah, is last month when Becker did the refer, and he realized he didn't get the simple majority because he did defer to begin with. I thought under Robert's rules, the same person can't come back and make another motion after that dies.
No, it depends on which version you're reading. That's the problem.
So do we need to adopt a Robert's Rules of Order
No,
from
we
this?
need to adopt our own rules
Okay.
and only use Robert's rules when those
It's
things
not
don't
specified
apply.
in our rules.
But the
Okay.
problem with that is, we don't need to get bogged down in rewriting everything,
Agreed.
because the defer refer issue needs to be addressed.
So can you hypothetically, let's say you look at Robert's rules and say version 15. Can we put that in the rules to say we would go by our rules or Robert's rules version 15?
Yeah, I think it does need to defer back to an action, it's just like our
I think you need
codes.
to say the most recent
Yeah.
Robert's rules.
Which is fine.
That's
The most-
the only version of it, right.
Yeah.
Because- Well, and see, the problem is Robert's rules is in the public domain, so we could adopt the Robert's rules. And write it and sell it ourselves.
That should be it.
So that should be 100 right there.
Did we bring berries down though? I don't know if that's it. Okay, we got that down, 55.
Hey, Leah,
55.
so you're saying
Go
then
for
too, if
berries
we're
and
gonna do
leaves.
something with the rules,
So that's gonna be,
do it.
Yeah.
The legislature can do it, because we put it.
Oh, no, we can't, we can't.
So that line item at the bottom. That 60. So that doesn't include the elevations, the amount that we had Habitat last year. And it doesn't include, yeah, let's put that in.
I think so too.
So what are we gonna call that exactly?
Or incremental, to make that committee have a
we gotta give
function.
them something to
And
work with the first time.
what maybe would work is something if we maybe this year designated some money from the hospital fund. I do think particularly the Sumner County Museum is something that we could, sort of like the Portland Airport, things that
I don't
are.
think you can take.
We can't take
fund out
but
for-
are y'all comfortable in what Dan's saying is, we kind of need a private fund for this, putting all of them and having them go through this fall committee? Right now, there's only 63,000, and that's just keeping the seniors, and that's about it. What's a number we're all comfortable with? I mean, we're
That
dipping
doesn't
in
count
reserve.
fire.
Yeah,
Does
Right.
not include fire, does not include any of those other contracted services.
so, but it's just something so that they have some wiggle room for these people that are applying.
I'll say 100.
How much?
What was it last year for those?
That's 63 is what he's talking about.
63.
Okay,
not
it
count
was
fire.
63.
Yeah.
Plus Habitat, which would make that closer to 70. That's 50.
David, what do you recommend as a safe number?
Base it on anything.
50.
Let's
He
just
say
put
zero.
$5,000 in there. I mean, it's not a lot, it's everybody's going there and kind of compete for all these.
So make zero. Yeah, okay.
I don't think so.
I'd make at least 10.
You want to make it 75 so it's an even number then? that gives them 12,000, so,
Yeah, and no one blows your skirt up, I mean, you just don't use it.
yeah, that's a very valid point. We don't have, yeah.
It'll be, if it's in there.
I'm not very scared.
If you need me to find some money elsewhere in the budget, I can. I've got some, I've got some line items identified that we could.
Yeah, we probably need to go down the whole budget, but right now I think we still got this election, EMS, and we probably need to go down the budget.
I would say let's put it at 75. If we decide we need to adjust that, then we may adjust it before we get there.
Can we
But
try 80 for now?
listen, yeah,
I'm just saying.
put it at 75.
I think right now you guys are gonna take a whole lot of beating.
Let's go to 75, and we'll just explain that.
On the floor, they're gonna
Just so
say
you
you
don't
put
back
more
up your
nonprofits in
75.
your departments.
She's like, let me ask for 80 and I'll get 75.
All right, so that's 75, we're done on that one.
I just think you're gonna have a long commission night on the floor about the budget, because someone's gonna be going, you're putting 12,000 some odd dollars in nonprofits and cutting operational departments. The ones that didn't get their money's gonna be down there.
You know, they know that there's a lot of nonprofits accounted for in that number, and I don't think that most people have the detailed numbers to. I mean, they do. I know it's a bad.
They'll call my office and ask me to explain.
Do they really?
Yo,
I think too, once, and this is just my opinion, I think sometimes every 24 commissioner on there has some kind of nonprofit that is their baby, whether it be a volunteer fire department, whether it be Ashley's Place, whether it be a senior center. And so I think if we're not careful with it being unallocated at the budget time, we may lose some of those support pieces because it's not their baby getting whatever. So I think you're right. When they see a lump sum of whatever we deem it goes, and they're like, well, who knows if my baby over here is going to get this, then it may cause, I think it's going to be different this year.
I
in
think
passing that
the rules are
budget.
gonna help, because if you read the rules, Mr. Witt wrote, is that you're proving that you're doing your function that you promised, showing that you're successful, that you get number one priority to existing funds. So just with that being said, it kind of points back to these existing that we're having a link to 12. That's gonna help with the argument, but you're still gonna have the argument you hear every year.
Yeah.
You didn't fund
Yeah.
elections or whatever.
And an important one that maybe something fell through the cracks and they didn't get something done in time, which, as we know, on budget happens every year. Somebody comes in, I didn't get an application.
I agree with you and Dave are saying, but coming from me, I mean, we can make the argument, and because the other side, whatever the other side is, you know, when the fire department argument came up, oh my God, we gotta have that back. And no one called, you know, your office, I'm guessing, David, saying, oh my God, y'all added this money wrong, their fire department's when we could have been department. So, I mean, if somebody called me complaining.
Not a commissioner did that.
Yeah.
You hear from other people, but.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Right.
what I'm saying, if someone, if we did this, and we got the new rules, if someone calls and complains, no matter who they are, the on the commission, the work here, whatever, it's like, we've done this if somebody comes to the building, says, we've done this every year. I wish we'd have never gotten into it to begin with, but we did. And so, you know, we're just trying to continue to help the county organizations that we've always helped. And when they want to complain, say, who would you cut? Your department. There's no argument.
During the last recession, they cut, I believe, almost all of them except the fire department.
Just out of curiosity, David, and you, I don't know if you know this or not, but what do other counties do for nonprofits? How much of their budget
I've got
goes?
those numbers right here.
A lot of them are.
Maybe I don't want the answer now. No, I'm just-
This is, when you look at senior centers and true charitable nonprofits,
Yes.
right, our total amount we came up with was like, it's basically 68. We have Habitat and then the other ones that right, so we are at 68 last year. Gallatin was at 96.
Yeah, but of a percentage of budgets, what is
Oh.
that? Like, if you just throw numbers out, but if somebody's budget is,
Well,
I mean, you know what
we're a lot
Gallatin's
bigger
budget
than
is.
Gallatin, and they give more than us.
do what, what'd you say?
We're a lot bigger than Gallatin. and they
Well, I
give
know
more.
Gallatin.
And Hendersonville gave 155 to charitable nonprofits.
I'm
Wilson
talking
County
county.
gave 188,000 to nonprofits. Williamson County was 218, and Rutherford was 544,000.
Now, so I'd make two arguments there. You can't compare us to Williamson and Rutherford because one's 350,000 people and the other one's,
I
four.
mean Robertson and Harris.
Robertson and Wilson,
Wilson is 188,
but what is their
compared to our
operating
68.
budget?
Which
a
Wilson,
lot less than.
Wilson's about 2/3 their size.
Well, but the other thing too is, and I don't know if the numbers address this, but you know, there's a lot of things that get counted, like with us, tourism being part part of our not-for-profit, that's not where that is in their budget.
Right.
And also too, they may have things that, you know, like,
Have to pick it apart to make sure it's
Right,
apples to
right.
apples. I agree.
probably not
We-
apples to
And not
apples.
to say that we have to do what
Well,
any
no,
other
no, I've
county is
actually-
doing. I was
I've
just
broken
trying
that
to.
out. I've got the
Okay.
ECD numbers, I've got the rural fire numbers,
You broke it all down.
I've got,
We,
and that was
on
just the
average,
true charitable nonprofits.
Okay,
So when you take out rural fire, libraries, other government extension stuff, I've got those below the line.
So your argument is we're covered if someone wants to make an
Yeah,
argument
we,
here.
we give less.
I'm,
than-
I'm saying that we're still very pitiful.
We give less
And
on
if you wanted
average.
to just put another 10,000 in there.
Mr. Winthrop, we give less than average.
Yeah, that's a good thing to know. That's a good thing to know. That's why I asked, you know, where are we in
And so I do
comparison?
feel like I could defend that number if we did make it higher or leave it there. I mean, I really think it doesn't give us much to work with, but I know this is not the year to.
I say this, since it's COVID year, let's leave it at 75.
Mhm.
Your committee meets, it will come back to budget. If there's an extra 5,000 or 7,000 that absolutely is, that my God, this has gotta happen,
Yeah,
then we add that.
Because that'll be September and we should have a little bit, yeah.
It's gotta go back to commission anyway. so
Yeah,
if you add
right.
additional
We could have,
questions,
like, these are the ones we're funding with our 75.
And this is an
Really would like
additional
to fund
ask.
these as well if we can.
We're all in agreement on nonprofit then?
Yep.
Alright.
You go back to the board anytime, you can meet.
Good suggestion.
The next one, we look at the, fire departments. One thing about the fire departments, we're still going through their files. I'm requesting you to not file the 990 with us, or 990 in, as applicable, that we move money to the unallocated to itself. All it means is later the commission will have to approve to move out of the unallocated fire departments.
When they get their crap
And
straight.
publishing it. Because there's several others that's had some responses that we need some clarification on, if they're city department.
By the way, is that a David rule, a federal rule, or a state rule?
The 990, that's federal. Okay,
It's like,
Because they have
My
me-
point is, if we're talking about the floor, like it was last year, and the year before, someone's gonna say, we didn't get on doing this every year, so let's just give them the money.
let me tell you what the actual.
I just wanna say we can come back to the federal.
Yeah,
rule.
if it's a federal rule that they're not.
I read
required
the
to-
rule just a second ago.
It says,
But the important part is we're still putting the money in their form
Yeah.
to be used later once they get their stuff straight.
the statute says they have.
Which
to-
they are all in agreement to get done. It's not like they don't, it would be one thing if they were like, no, we're not doing that, but everybody is working together.
Basically, if they are they have to be a 501c3 or 501c something for us to get them money. If they are one and they're over $50,000, they've got to file a 990. If they're under 50 and the revenue fluctuates, which would be all of them, they have to file 990 in. Our application says, to make sure they are following statute, they have to file the 990 or the 990, I think it's each, or the N as Apple, when they actually have to file a postcard too with the IRS postcard. I think it's the same thing. But either way, if they supply it to us, it guarantees they are nonprofit. Right now, we've had some of them that said they've never filed it again. According to the IRS website, if you fail to file them after 3 years, they're rejecting your nonprofit status. So we're probably giving money to ones that are nonprofits already. But we did it in good faith because we had the original filings. But it's something that needs to be resolved before we continue down that road. And then somebody challenges that we're giving illegal appropriation.
Which I'm sure that would come.
I don't know. Fire departments are pretty popular in that. Maybe
But there's
not,
two
but-
people that don't care.
I doubt during what the government's doing right now, the IRS spend a lot of time looking at nonprofit donations.
No, I don't think they are either, but, it's the same thing with the rules. I don't think it's a high risk. Right now, the other one you have left, and that's what Mr. Poe mentioned to me, is when you look at election commission.
Yes. Make sure we got it straight on that, because it was quick and fast, and what we said yesterday was covered in this, but I want to make sure that.
I think there's 2 or 3 things you need to say. One is
We
the
can't
new employee.
add an employee.
The new employee was over the salary scale. The-
Oh, we can do it, but bring it to
Yeah,
salary.
it's not a new employee, it's a part-time if they want to move to full-time, so they're gonna pull money out of their part-time budget to make up the difference, and we're setting it at 33,000.
Let's go right now, Beth, to the salary.
And that position will be included in the new salary study that we're doing, and if something shows different, then we adjust it at that point.
Exactly.
So they can take that part-time money and make her 42? Can she do that?
Here's what we've got right now. They went in and they did the evaluation on her. They agreed or not. They had her assistant, her chief deputy, and everybody else. And they had one in between. The start pay for the one was 33. The next one, the probably chief was 36. Annette was 40-something, and then you have Lori that's not in there. Right now, they're requesting a new position at 42, which would be more than the start pay for anybody.
That our pay scale study said it should be 33.
33 would be your start unless she's getting some kind of position that don't exist right now, a new non-existent position that would warrant more than what she's calling a chief deputy. I mean, that's kind of what we were.
So so what you're saying, Chris, is we're gonna put it at 33, but can she?
Chris is saying no.
Okay, here's the thing, she can't change her salary to 42, but she can try and compensate her up to 42 if she chooses to, with overtime and other things. But we obviously we pay attention to everybody's budget, because over the years, when people had part-time, they never hired, would use that to supplement other people's salaries for a 4 or 5 year stretch. Or it was planned. And so we've kind of nipped those in the budget, we found them, so obviously we'll be watching to make sure she doesn't do that. That's what we do.
I think the other question was if you're gonna put the full-time in, that's what Chris was asking. You put a new full-time in, you're really gonna need all the overtime.
So we'll reduce that too. On top of putting her back at the numbers that.
How much do you reduce the part-time?
Honestly, could put it back to last year, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we said we're putting our back to numbers that were, for the last presidential election, we didn't have all the early voting, which was 2016.
Can we amend this? Do you have to have this today for the notice?
We need to have one that you could legitimately approve today for those, but you could make small changes in 15, but you gotta have one that you feel comfortable pretty much approving today.
I mean, the only reason I ask is remember that lawsuit's supposed to be decided in March.
Yeah, well, that's what we told her.
Is there either gonna need a lot more money or they probably don't?
I'm confident if it comes up, she'll let us know that she needs it.
The other point is if there's a lawsuit in the election, you approve a budget, you can amend your budget anytime. You can amend your budget in July.
But I would personally rather go with the idea that they're not gonna need the extra money, and then if they do.
Go back to the overtime office, and get a little bit good. That's 61, 67. And how there's roads where they can see the 2016. Back then it wasn't the overtime.
What about any of that?
Then if they want-
The podium needs,
All right,
What time's EMS? They're upstairs now?
she's working on it with the main runner to get it tied down, and I'll go up and check on her in a minute, try to get it down here.
they've got overtime projected they're requesting 20,000 for overtime next year. The most they've had for overtime before was 13,000 last year, because apparently they have extra stuff they had to do. Yeah, I would rather, put it at 5,000, I think that's a realistic number, because that was the other time. Because in the previous presidential elections, they didn't use it, or they didn't have it budgeted. Everybody's kind of.
Yeah.
They're saying they're running over.
Yeah, and again, if something different comes up, then we can always address it.
Exactly.
They say they're running over on their comps, you may just want to move back to last year. Allow them to alleviate, but I don't know what their comp balance is.
We'll let her come, she can come and request it if they need to.
So you do, bring that back to 5 total. Good minus 829, or minus 5, that way, 802.
And again, I told Annette that we would have to make changes for her to be able to do that, and she said whatever we need to do, so.
Yeah, I agree. They did, they were
And they
busy.
can,
Go back and look at the appropriation sheets that they part-time and 16, 17 versus now, that was a good question. I think they said, where's it paid out?
And she said this was a worst case scenario when she came in here. She was like, this is worst case because we don't know what they're doing. So I think that's fine.
It's probably gonna pay for election work for the person who did it. Maybe when she comes down, she'll tell you how much part-time is paid to the slave too. I think that's what you guys need to take that, whatever she's paid out of part-time.
so 8,000 out of, the part-time.
It went part-time to full-time, it's 26,804, she made an adjustment.
Oh, sure, made it.
Okay, yeah, I asked her to take care of it yesterday.
Let's look at it and make sure we don't let her go. That'll be, let everybody look at what they did, what she did. If she decreased the amount they replaced.
Huh? Yeah, we will. But you think they would buy us lunch? It's 2 hour vote.
He put it in his budget.
We got the order. Did we go get on the call one upstairs? We get Catherine, so she can call her over there.
It's whatever y'all want to do, I'm fine either way.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna.
What we got, another hour?
Yep.
With EMS?
such an optimist.
Well, no,
Y'all
I'm
are
just
getting
saying,
out of here
I
at
mean,
10 o'clock in
no,
the
no,
morning.
I'm just thinking we're done, other than,
I think really what you probably do is get the run down real quick. Go down the lines on everybody's budget, say.
But you're gonna put the budget back together, you're gonna do this.
yeah.
Let me go ask Catherine, you know, she's gonna have a
Let me ask a
stroke.
question,
She
y'all,
can
you
just
need Ken and I, we really got some stuff
No,
we're
no,
gonna do.
It is our lunch break. That's what that means.
It's been fun, but you know.
Hey, Leah.
We'll text you if we need you.
Oh, what do you want from Jimmy John's, and I'll go get Catherine to go call you.
I'm not gonna run over.
I mean, if we're gonna do EMS and go through the things, you're probably gonna hear to one, work during lunch,
All right, let's take a break. How does it?
the way everybody wanna leave. But
Wait a minute, Leah.
One of us can go grab lunch.
we'll get somebody over there to get it.
Well, she asked for